of shadows.
Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese and I hope that you guys are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you. When this video finally reaches you, whew, you guys, today's video is one of those videos where I'm gonna advise you to sit back, relax, maybe turn a light on, because this video is unsettling and very creepy. It has to do with a USB that was found in a forest recently that had images and videos of black-eyed children on it, which you might think was just a prank or some silly photos or videos accidentally left behind. But people from that neighborhood had been reporting having seen black-eyed children or children with dark eyes staring into their windows and coming onto their property for weeks prior to the discovery. It's very creepy, definitely unsettling, and it's said to be true. So I would love to know your guys' opinions, because the minute that I heard about this, I felt the need to share it with you guys. Now, I don't know about you guys, but whenever it's late at night or even just random hours of the day and I want to cozy up with like a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or maybe a glass of wine, I have been looking for the absolute best loungewear on the market. It's been something that I've wanted for years, like loungewear that's comfortable and feels luxurious. And so I am so freaking excited to share today's video sponsor, Tommy John, with you guys. As I just mentioned, I have been on the hunt for the most comfortable loungewear and pajama sets for quite some time, and I can say with confidence, sponsorship aside, Tommy John is my new obsession. They are so soft, they are so comfortable, and better yet, they're made for motion, so they don't ride up or bunch up or twist up. You just feel so free-flowing and comfortable in them. So I have their women's pajama pant and women's pajama short sleeve top. I also have their women's lounge Henley top, but I've also tried their bras and underwear, and honestly, you guys, they are so comfortable, so I just recommend Tommy John as a whole. So if you guys want to hang out, lounge around, or go to sleep in the comfiest loungewear and PJs I own, I will have a link down in my description, and you can use my code Hailey Reese for 15% off, plus free shipping of your first pack of Tommy Johns. And thank you so much to Tommy John for not only sponsoring this video, but for literally changing my loungewear and PJ life. I don't know, I'm just so freaking thankful, because I've been on the hunt for something like what you guys have for the longest time. So thank you so much for sponsoring. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, you guys, so this is titled Never Take a USB from the Forest. And it says, I knew something wasn't right in my town. Much like many other places in the world, we've been basically forced inside for almost a year. As if that wasn't bad enough, I felt this constant shadow of dread and darkness over my town from the beginning. And that is not because of being stuck indoors. At first, people in my life told me I must be crazy, that this was just getting to my head a little too much. And I wished that that was true, but sadly over time, I knew that it wasn't. My town is cold a lot. Very few people live here, and it's gloomy most of the year. Even though we were told that we could go on walks, most of us chose to stay indoors because there wasn't much for us outside. And as the months went on, things felt darker. I couldn't shake this feeling of dread in my bones. If you've ever felt it, you understand. I called my mom a lot, telling her that I felt something really bad was on its way here. At first, she would laugh, thinking I was joking, but eventually it turned to concern, and she encouraged me to talk to my doctor. She assured me that nothing bad happens in our tiny town, and that surely I must have depression from being forced inside. Realizing she was never going to believe me, I decided to quit talking about it and just wait for something to prove my point. And prove my point it would. My town is so small that most of us communicate about things in an online group. If someone has something to sell, they post there. If someone has a question or concern, they post there. It all started with a frustrated post from someone up the road from me. The woman lives next to the town's park that backs onto a big forest with walking trails. She posted, I understand keeping your kids occupied in a time like this is hard, but please do not allow your children to stare into the windows of our home. It scared my husband and I nearly half to death. Immediately, some of my other neighbors were replying. One comment saying, "Did you recognize the children? When did this happen?" She responded, "It's been happening nearly every night the past week. I didn't recognize the children. It was dark, so their eyes and features were dark. We were just able to see them staring in." There were many responses, mostly from parents saying they spoke to their kids and it wasn't them. Either way, the whole thing from the beginning felt very off to me. A week or so later, there was another post to the page. "Hey everyone, I know you've all talked to your kids, but there were crawling children on my property last night. I saw them as I was doing the dishes. When they noticed me looking at them, they ran off. Thought I'd let you know it also happened to me too." Many replies again, and get this, she also said the kids' features were too dark to make out in the dark. I knew it all felt creepy, especially with the growing feeling of dread in the pit of my stomach. But you reading this, you probably think it's just bored kids with nothing better to do. Most from my town thought that too, until it was obvious it wasn't. The story gets darker when the season gets nicer for us, ironically. We had about a week of really nice weather in my town, which made for many more people outside. The most popular place to go was the park and the forest I told you about earlier. Lots of families were taking walks through the forest and lots of kids were on the playground. It actually felt kind of nice that week, to be honest. Then, new post on the town page. Wondering what you all make of this and if anyone knows who these images are of. Attached were terrifying images of children with black eyes. I'm not attaching them because they feel so dark, and after everything that's happened, I'd hate to push that energy out on anyone. My wife and I went on a walk with our dog in, and then she blanked out, forest last night. We noticed our dog sniffing something and noticed it was a USB. Written on it was "Watch Me." We were confused and reluctantly brought it home with us. These are just a few of the terrifying images and videos of these children with actual blacked out eyes. Right away, comments flooded in, saying they were the children that they saw peering in their windows lately. In fact, more than just the two posts I told you about. People were saying they thought that there was fear coming in this group chat, and that every time someone posted about it, somebody's kids got more excited to scare people. So they left their experiences unmentioned. Nobody knows who the kids are, and nobody recognizes anyone. Now that I've looked into this deeper, I'm starting to think they're the reason I felt dread. I think there's black-eyed children in my town, and I think they're inching closer and closer to everyone's homes until they can try to come in. And I'm worried that out of curiosity, someone in the town might actually let them in to get to the bottom of these troublesome kids. Oh yeah, but things have actually gotten even darker. The family who found the USB moved out of town. They didn't say why, but they said they didn't want to live here anymore. The final thing we heard after their nice long farewell was to never pick up a USB from that forest. So creepy. I don't know what's going on in my town, but I know it isn't good. So I'm sharing it with you to see what you think is happening and what you think everyone should do. Because I fear if we don't do something soon, it'll be too late. And that is the end of Never Take a USB from the Forest. I don't know about you guys, but when I read this, it gave me absolute chills. I think what's crazy is that it is such a small town. My dad actually lived in a small town throughout most of my childhood, and it is true when they say everybody knows everybody. When they see someone new in the town, they ask who that is because you're just so used to seeing the regulars. So I feel like even if it was kids playing pranks, you would recognize who the kids were unless they were kids from another town coming in to cause havoc. But nonetheless, this whole entire thing was very, very creepy to me. And I wanted to share it with you guys and ask you guys what your thoughts or opinion are on this story. Do you think that it's true? Do you think that it's made up? Do you think that they really are black-eyed children? Do you think it's people messing with it? A part of me is like, why would black-eyed children take photos and videos of themselves and leave a USB in the forest? But I'd be very curious to know all of your guys' thoughts and opinions, and that is it for today's video. Before I close out today's video, I would once again like to thank today's video sponsor, Tommy John. As I mentioned, if you guys want the most comfortable loungewear and clothing I have literally ever worn. I'll have a link down in my description. You can use my code Hailey Reese for 15% off and free shipping on your first pack of Tommy Johns. So thank you so much to Tommy John for sponsoring this video and changing my life. And that is it for this video. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would seriously love it if you go ahead and click that subscribe button, and please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, I love you guys.